Hurry up, 5 minutes. 5 minutos. Esta noche es muy caliente.
Hey, download your TikTok app today so you can have Chinese spyware in your house for free. You go down! Give me money!
Fucking future!
We're talking about a fat ass and everything, yeah.
I said loud ass. It's like I took a poop and it was one of those painful ones that brings a tear to your eye. Oh, he is. Did you guys miss me? I'm back. I'm back, baby. Woo! Yeah. Oh. I know, you guys are like, oh my God, Psycho, where you been? I'm here. I'm here. It's me. I'm here. Oh, goodness. Oh. Oh, man. The arm of the chair up my ass. Okay, I have not done anything to prep yet, but I'm here. I'm here, you're here, we're all here, we're doing a thing, we're doing it together, and excitement! Let's start by taking the stupid hat off. Oh, it's warm. It's warm in here. It's getting hot in here, but I'll keep on all my clothes. You know it. I mean, I'm not quite a never nude, but close enough. Of course, we gotta activate Doggo Cam. Because what would a Psycho stream be without Doggo? We need Doggo. Ain't that right, Doggo? This is like, oh man, again? Yep. You know the deal, Sleepy Queen. Oh, look at that. There's a Doggo right there. You see there? I use that to monitor the chat, right? And for those of you that are wondering, I organized my Pikachu section. That's right, we did that today. And I kind of organized the top shelf, but not quite. But yeah, here's Doggo. Where's that face? Where's that face? Pretty girl. You guys let me know if she moves. Because if she moves, we gotta readjust. We got to readjust because the doggo needs to stay in frame. Let me know. I know you guys can hear me. So, hi everybody. Welcome to Books and Bourbon with your host, Psycho Veteran. Alright, that's all the energy I had for this entire stream. Good night, everybody. Y'all take it easy. Just kidding. I'm not I'm just fucking with you. Alright. Alright. I must prepare my drinks. Lucky for you, I still have what I didn't drink last week Tuesday. I know, I'm such a drunk, I don't even finish what's in my glass. And I go grab a little water. Oh shit, somebody left. Well, fuck you too. Yeah, it's one thing that people are just too damn rude to say hi, but then they're on top of that, they're too damn rude to say goodbye. It's not like we met randomly at the bar and you just ghost out. You came into my house, bro. You in my house. It's not like this is a random public place. This is my own private sanctuary. My home away from home. Yeah, the dog's looking at me awful. Don't look at me funny, dog. See you there judging me. She's a good dog sometimes. Oh, can I reach the book? Oh yeah. There we go. The Killer Book of True Crime. Don't worry, guys. It's a paperback because I couldn't find a hard copy. I like hard book covers. I don't know. They're easier to weaponize, right? Just boom, right between. I got nothing. Oh, sorry, dog. Did not mean to disturb you, but I'm going to move the camera ever so slightly. Oh, sorry, did that mess with your ear? Oh, hopefully this doesn't knock out this camera. This camera does not like being moved at all. There we go. Is that better? I hope it's better, because that's the best I'm going to give you. So, welcome to Books and Bourbon. Now, that one really wasn't that much. Why didn't I drink it that day? I'm not sure. Where is that bottle, though? It's around here somewhere. Roxy, what'd you do with Daddy's bottle? Oh, there it is. I'm going to have to top that off. There's no way that's going to be enough for 1 or 2 chapters. I mean, I'm sure you guys know a pirate's favorite sweater material. It's Argyle. Sorry, I had to do it. If that's not a material, I apologize for being born a straight male and not knowing the difference between a pattern and a material. I mean, I do know definition-wise what the difference is, but shut up, you know what I meant. I have not even touched the sauce. Oh, wait. I did taste the rum chata and the booboo creme. That smells so nice. Like, there's no smell-o-vision, but smell that. Oh my god, it's great. That smells very pleasant. I'm sure it's not going to taste as pleasant as it smells. But you know, you never know. Here's looking at you, kid. Well, I gotta share this out. We can't just have one viewer. Besides, gotta get the sippy sips going. Let's see. Kyle, Kathy, Kramer. Just kidding. There's no Kramer. All the invites. Just to the people I love. You guys know who you are. The ones that actually respond at some point. I mean, I know very few people who actually respond when you send them a message, and of course, to that, everybody's so daggum busy, and I'm like, oh, really? Everybody's too busy to say hi or just be polite. It's like, I don't see the point of texting. I don't see the point of phone calls anymore either. Nobody answers their phone anymore. Does anybody answer their phone when somebody calls? No, they're all too busy. I'll get back to that later. And then you don't because you forget because you're so busy. See, Lark! Cheers, buddy. You missed it, but I was just like, man, I wish you guys could smell this. Here, smell this. It smells great. Yeah. This is that Chattanooga 111 straight Tennessee bourbon. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Where you been, man? We've been missing you. You working regular shift now, or are you still training? Well, either way, welcome back. I haven't seen you since last year, buddy. Yeah, you knew one of us had to crack that one. Does that mean it's your bedtime? And I caught you just before you fell asleep? Hello Kitty. Oh my god, go to sleep. Oh my god. Okay, so I was gonna drink out of my new tumbler, But I would feel bad. I make poor decisions, right? Yeah, my lovely neighbors got this for me for Kima. And all I got them was some mugs, but their names are on it. Yeah. And some lotto tickets. Did you guys win the lotto? Probably not. Either that or they're keeping it a secret from me. 4 weeks. Alright. Where is my Poochie pouches? Because there's no way I'm going to get through any reading without the thing. Oh, and I don't know about y'all, but I saw this really cool reindeer at Wally World, and I was like, I must have it. It's made out of aluminium and whatever else, but woo! I thought it was cool. It's a nice looking thingamaboober. Although I don't hunt. This dog don't hunt, neither does this guy. But I think Roxy would make a decent gun dog. Because she's not too bothered by fireworks unless it's 2:30 in the fucking morning on the 2nd. Dickheads. She started going boop, boop, boop. Well, apparently some neighbors had a couple drinks and they decided they had fireworks left. So what better time to shoot it off at 2:30 in the fucking morning? Fucking fuck asses. When are you gonna get some fucking vacation, bro? This I mean, what all the hell do they have to train you on? This is getting stupid. It's getting well stupid, isn't it? Now, I know I got me my some bitches around here somewhere. Oh wait, there's one right here. Cool. I don't have to do my art. But you made it sound like you already knew everything you needed to know, and you were questioning why the thing did the thing, right? I wish I could have articulated that better than a mouth-breathing moron, but you're just going to have to settle for mouth-breathing moron for now, because that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get when you tune in to the Psycho Veteran Show. Yeah, it's a show now. Psycho Veteran Show. We're going to get shoe. Show. Sifu. Sisu. Oh, speaking of which, Sisu is a dope-ass movie. I watched it again for like the 3rd time with my buddy BJ. And, you know, as long as you're okay with suspension of disbelief and just like, bro, it's a movie, just take it for what it is. It's pretty dope. It's just nice to see people out there just like, you know what, fuck a message. Let's just make some badass dude kill a lot of people. Like, alright, cool, let's watch that. Speaking of which, if anybody really loves me, you're going to find me a copy of Christmas Sleigh, and we'll watch Santa Claus murdering the hell out of people. That sounds like it'd be a hoot. Give me a DVD copy of that shit. I want to watch Christmas Sleigh. But anyways, yeah, you need to take a vacation and come visit us over here in sunny Bama. That's what you need to do, because you know what? We're not getting any healthier, and we're definitely not getting any younger. So it'd be cool not to hear from a family member or something. Well, I probably won't hear from anybody if you kick it, and you probably won't hear from me either if I kick it. So yeah, we need to at least see each other one more time while we're still above ground, is what I'm trying to say, brother. And no, we're not going out to drink, because I can't afford to keep up with me. It's not like we got $1 beer and $2 shots anymore. Or was it $2 beers and $2 shots? It was something like that. I forget. It was a long ass time ago. Drinking all the OB you could. And that well vodka. Gross. Now I'm on to finer things like whiskey. We got some Tennessee straight bourbon. Or whatever. Yeah. Cheers. I'll read after this next sip. Calm down, people. I don't know if you saw, but It's Super Mario. See that? We got stars and Mario all pixelated like. And I made that stupid pirate joke. I mean, I don't even know if that qualifies as Argyle. Whatever. No, well, I mean, come over, I'll give it to you. Dude, I had that thing sitting in the box. I still got the box. It's still sitting right here on the table. Had the better part of a year. That's why we can't have nice things. I'm an irresponsible adult. But it came in this nice little box, right? Look, it's got the official Nintendo seal of quality. Official Nintendo licensed product. It was on clearance from $13 to $9.97. Well, shit, the savings. If I ever have any kids, which I won't, that's their inheritance. That's all you kids get. It's done. Don't worry, Roxy. I made a promise to you that I will do my best to outlive you. Now, how you behave is gonna vary things up a little bit. Just kidding. I couldn't hurt that dog too bad. Where'd we leave off at? Something somewhere with words? Oh, scamming the elderly. Can't stand people who take advantage of the weak, man. That's some bullshit. Sorry, I had to make sure I was a little bit more centered. And then I lean to the side a little bit like I'm trying to pass a fart. I'm not trying to pass a fart. But you guys are okay because it's not smell-o-vision. You're good. The elderly are particularly vulnerable to the rip-off artist. A man named Harold Bartlett, for example, specialized in victimizing elderly black women in East St. Louis, conning them into signing deeds of trust to their homes, and then threatening to foreclosure if they didn't pay for improvements. Dude, that's a scummy dude right there. ABC's Home Show featured a story about an alert bank manager who saved an elderly client before she was victimized too badly. The manager had noticed that the woman had transferred large amounts of money from her savings to her checking account and was writing fairly large checks to someone the bank manager had not heard of. Suspicious, the manager contacted the Los Angeles Bunko Squad. An investigating detective found that the woman was having an old shed re-roofed, a job later determined to be worth perhaps $700. The woman had already paid the roofer $5,000 of the overall asking price of $58,000. Another scam, spiking the house, which is starting the job by ripping down the siding. Then no matter what, the homeowner is forced to have the job finished either by the spiker or by someone else. Some people, man. Crime can be funny. They also got me. A detective on the Bunko Squad was fortunate enough to arrest some of the Williamson Gang, a notorious group of traveling home improvement thieves. He was visiting his older aunt in Queens, and the doorbell rang. A solicitor started talking to the aunt, and the cop sneaked up and listened while the solicitor explained why she needed her roof done. He was good. In fact, he was so convincing, the officer was tempted to come out from behind the door and say, "Where do I sign?" But instead, the cop came out with the shield. The contractor didn't have a license, so he was locked up. I do have an issue with that too. Like, I'm sorry, I thought this was America. But there's reasons for the protections, and sometimes it's just so they can collect tax money, and I think it's kind of scummy, but you know, it's licensing and insurance is important for issues of liability and so on and so forth. But I don't know. I can see it from both perspectives. But I still think it's part of government overreach, whether it's to protect us or not. It's not part of your job, government. Anyways, there are many other kinds of construction scams. One of the most damaging is contractors who take down payments on a job and never start work. Also, there are those who start work and never finish. And the amounts that the consumers are defrauded are not small. They're usually in the thousands of dollars, many times in the tens of thousands. Sue Nichols of the Connecticut Consumers Affairs Department says they had one contractor who made a livelihood of this. That's all he did. Go from job to job, giving estimates, taking advances, and never coming back. He got around $80,000 before he blew out of town. This, of course, is felonious behavior. Damn right it's felonious. Don't do it. The district attorney will be happy to take your complaint and to pursue it, but usually only after he or she has gone after the perpetrators of the other complaints on the desk. So robberies, burglaries, assaults, rapes, and murders. Once again. Okay, so my issue is... Okay, so you guys tell me that I don't need weapons of war to defend myself, but the Supreme Court said you guys are under no obligation to protect me, but yet you say that I shouldn't do vigilante justice. And I'm like, well, if you're not willing to fucking do it, and these guys have more rights, what's the fucking point of even having you guys around? I'm all for, reallocation of money towards training, but at the same time, I don't know. Penis? Yeah, penis. Before I get into it, yeah, penis. Crime can be funny. With friends like these, who needs enemies? I got something like that. It's okay. None of you guys are here. Figure this one out. One day, 2 cops responded to a burglary in progress. When they arrived at the location, a neighbor explained that the homeowners were away, but he'd seen a man enter through the back door. Ooh, sneaky. They entered the house, guns drawn. Frenemies, yeah, right? They entered the house, guns drawn. It was clear downstairs, so they headed up. They checked the rooms and found a guy in one of them lying under the covers in one of the beds. One cop stripped off the blanket while the other kept him covered with a gun. The man was fully clothed, boots and all. "Hey, what's the deal?" one cop said. "Hey, what you doing in my house?" "This ain't your house." "Well," he said, "it's my best friend's house. I'm watching it for him." The cops nodded and started to cuff him. "What about all these electronics equipment in the garbage bags?" "Oh," he says, "that's my boy's stuff. I'm going to take it to the repair shop tomorrow." "But tomorrow's Sunday," one cop said. The man replied, "Well, my other friend's got to shop. He opens up for me only on Sunday." The officers took the man to jail, and once in, he starts pleading his case to two other guests there. They were sympathizing with him, and one of the cops overheard him say, in a high, plaintive voice, "They locked me up because I was in my cousin's house." The cop couldn't help but say, "But you told me it was your best friend's house." The man looked at the cop with a mystified look on his face. "Yo, 5-0, my cousin is my best friend." Oh. I've always hated thieves, but somehow I hate thieves even more when they steal from family. Friends too, but family? Oh my god, that's blood, son. A certain level of scum. I know. Not cool, man. Don't be a thiever. Don't be stealing. I mean, exactly. I don't even know what that notification was for. Son of a bitch. Thanks for the thing. Oh, fuck. I need to put that notification higher. I moved the camera so the ticker would fuck. This is why we can't have nice damn things. Video capture. Where the hell did it go? There. I don't even know what that was for, but thank you, whoever, for whatever. I don't even know. Because I couldn't see it, and I apologize for not thanking you properly. There we go. Look at that pretty girl. We are sipping on some scissor. No, I'm not that ghetto ever. We are sipping on Chattanooga 111. High malt, 111 proof. Tennessee high malt. What? Yeah. Straight bourbon whiskey. Oh yeah, it looks like a Wild West bottle, don't it? It's got the raised lettering. Made in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Real cork. That's what we sipping on. Oh. But hey, Mr. G. Welcome to the stream. And this one's for you. like the taint of an angel. A sweaty angel. Chapter 2. Wow, we're just not getting in Chapter 2? Well, here we are, Chapter 2. Organized crime and gangs. The most feared mafioso. One of the most feared men ever in the New York Mafia was a pudgy man named Roy DeMeo. He was a made member of the Mafia, a murderer, loan shark, and car thief who hung out with other thugs in the Gemini Lounge in Brooklyn. He created an assembly line for murder. The potential victim was lured into the Gemini Lounge clubhouse, where he was shot and then stabbed in the heart. Next came the butcher knives and bone saws to cut him apart and package him in little pieces, which were then thrown in the dumpster for pickup. It was estimated that DeMeo was responsible for murdering over 200 people, and he liked having the power of God to deciding who lives, who dies. Classy gent right there. Hey, he was a good fella. DeMeo eventually ran afoul of the boss of all bosses, Paul Castellano. And Castellano, fearing that DeMeo would cooperate with the government, ordered his death. One frozen January day, DeMeo was found in the trunk of a car, shot 7 times. One bullet had gone through his frozen hand, which he held to his face to protect himself, and there was a pool of blood frozen. They also found a recorder wire, a message that anyone who crossed the Mafia would also end up in the trunk of a car. I mean, don't be no stinking rat. Forget about it. I would make a wonderful low-budget mob goon enforcer in a movie. So Hollywood, call me. I want to get killed by Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. When we make another Punisher movie, guys, let me know. I'd be eating the gabagool and he could stick a fork through my eye. You know, something cool. Match game, Mafia Deaths. Oh, well. We're not going to play the match game. This one seems a little bit difficult because match each mafioso with the way he met his fate. I want to do it, but we can't really do it because there's multiple guesses. I'm not going to read the multiple guesses each time for each thing. But it seems like it would be cool. Like, I wish you guys could just print this up and we could all play along together while I read it out, but we're not going to do that. We got Joey Gallo, Joe Profaci, Vito Genovese, Bugsy Siegel, Joe Adonis. Yeah, I'm not doing all this. Let's see, I'm going to pick a couple of the ways they were killed. Assassinated on his birthday at a clam house in Little Italy. Passed away at age 97 from natural causes. Succumbed to liver cancer while still boss of the Brooklyn family. See, I'm not too wise on my wise guys, so, you know, I couldn't really tell you. Gang/organized crime jargon. Put out a contract. Well, we should all know this one. We've all seen enough movies for this one. This is one of the most common names for a mob murder, used both by law enforcement personnel and mobsters. The threat of death is the ultimate weapon used by organized crime to control people. The rule is simple. Do it my way or be killed. For years, if you were going to be hit by the family, you could expect that a certain decorum would be observed. For example, they wouldn't kill you in front of your wife and kids. That has changed. The most dramatic example was the killing of Crazy Joe Gallo, a renegade mafioso who was shot by 2 gunmen while dining with his wife in Umberto's Clam House in New York City. The time to worry about being hit is when you are aware of having committed a fatal offense such as stealing drugs and are subsequently invited somewhere by a close friend. This is frequently the way a mob hit is achieved. A friend is forced to set up a friend. Man, that's some low-down dirty shit, but you shouldn't have done no low-down dirty shit to begin with, you fucking rat, you! Today, the various gangs are also much more violent than in the past. Indeed, the level of violence is mind-boggling, and perhaps most shocking are the Colombians. Those are just straight fucking animals. They not only don't care about your family seeing you being killed, but will kill them all because of your transgressions. Hit First showed up in print in America in 1971 in Sleep is for the Rich by D. Mackenzie. I got scared and called the whole thing off. Someone else must have made the hit. I mean, it happens sometimes. You know, people, you took too long. You pissed somebody else off. You stepped on somebody else's toes. Anyways, 2, do a piece of work. This is the most common phrase mobsters use when they're going to murder someone. I thought it was put out a hit, but, you know, or a contract. Whatever. Button man. A soldier in the mafia family. Button men do the dirty work for the mafia, collecting for loan sharks or from other people, paying extortion money, acting as enforcers, bodyguards, runners, whatever they are ordered to do. The button man may or may not be a made man, one formally inducted into the mafia, but is connected to the family nonetheless. Button men are considered the low men on the mafia totem pole, but are highly regarded within the criminal community because of their mafia affiliation. One said the term comes from the idea that a button man acting as a hitman makes buttonholes or bullet holes in his victim. There's some really big buttonholes he's got there. That's why I'm a button man. Forget about it. Well, I didn't know about button man until just now. How about you guys? Capo di tutti capi. No, capo di tutti di capi. Italian for boss of all bosses. Consigliere, chief counselor to the head of the mafia family, from the Italian consiglio, meaning advice or counsel. Oh, yeah, that is the spot right there. That goes great with my Mexican. They're not fighting yet. I'll be fighting later for my life in the toilet. Consigliere is a revered position in the mafia. The man who holds it is regarded as very wise in the ways of the mob. Consiglieres tend to be older men. Wire man. Anyone skilled in practice placing a recording device. Most law enforcement entities have wiremen, and these days they play a crucial role, particularly in the war against organized crime. The public consciousness of what it takes to wiretap a telephone is erroneous. The popular conception is of a quick, furtive placement in a phone or on a wire close by. In fact, the wireman can tap a wire far from a subject's house. In other instances, placing the wire must be quick and furtive and carries some risk of the wireman being discovered. One of the classic wires was placed one windswept, rainy night by New York State police officers who succeeded in placing a bug in the Jaguar of the subject, a big-time mafioso named Anthony Tony Ducks Corallo, who at the time was attending a wedding reception. Corallo, feeling perfectly safe in his car, talked naturally and lugubriously about mafia business to his driver, his conversation spiced with uncomplimentary references to some of his compatriots. Well, we don't like uncomplimentary references. At one point in the operation, the bug, powered by the car's failing battery, started to fail as well. Corallo brought the vehicle in for servicing, which would have meant discovery of the bug, but agents were able to get to the car and remove the bug, then replace it after the car was serviced. Thanks to that bug, Corallo died in jail. Police have also placed bugs in parked cars to listen to street conversations. In one Portland neighborhood, for example, police noticed that the bad guys they wanted so much never talked in an incriminating way inside a building. But each day they would stand on a certain street corner and speak openly. The creative solution was to park a car on that corner and leave it there. A tiny hole had been drilled in the trunk, and the conversations were captured by sensitive recording equipment inside the trunk. Man, those wiremen, they got the brains. What you think about that, dog? Huh? You don't? Well, she got better things to think about. Like eating the baby snacks even though it's not your food. Fucking fatty. Go figure, my dog is just like me. Fuck. Weird. 7. Colombian necktie. A murder in which the victim's throat is cut and the tongue is pulled down through the opening to resemble a tie. Colombian drug dealers engage in this gruesome practice, and they normally reserve it for a snitch. Though everything is relative, the Colombians are generally regarded as the most brutal of all drug-dealing gangs. Perhaps their reputation is most fearsome because it is well known that they will not only kill someone who has crossed them, but that person's family as well. In fact, that is an implicit threat when dealing with Colombians. I mean, I'm sure they've killed over perceived wrongs, nonetheless actual ones, so maybe you just don't do business with the Colombians. Here's an idea. Don't do crime. Stop breaking the law, asshole! Right? But, I mean, we wouldn't have lovely books like this if people didn't break the fucking law, huh? 8. Pulling train. Gang rape. It is also known as training, and this is the fate of many women who join street gangs or criminal motorcycle gangs. Well, shit. 9. Doing the Houdini. Cutting a body into pieces, then discarding them to make the body disappear. See also the later entry on Westies. Time for some Q&A, kids. There's one question, so... Question. Who was the big-time 1920s mobster who the government couldn't convict for gang activity, but who eventually got arrested for tax evasion? Oh, come on. You guys all know this one. Everybody knows this one. Valentine's Day Massacre. The Better Business Bureau was invented by this dude. I mean... Come on, you guys know. You guys know. Fucking died of syphilis. Nobody wants to fucking throw in their 2 cents. Even I'll accept his nickname. Nobody seen The Untouchables? Come on, guys, work with me here. I'm trying. I'm really trying. All right, fine. Here's the answer. You ready? Prepare to have your minds blown, people. Answer. Al Bundy. Oh, no. Capone. Al Capone. Brooklyn-born Capone moved to Chicago and rose to a vicious mob in the 1920s and 30s that controlled beer and liquor trade during Prohibition. He made a reputed $100 million a year, little of which he reported. I know, right? How dare he? The government got him for not paying $231,000 in income taxes, and he was sentenced to 11 years in jail and a $50,000 fine. He ultimately died of syphilis. There you go. And there's a picture, Mr. Capone himself, right? Yeah, it's not a good way to go. Al Capone's scar. Al Scarface Capone always claimed that his prominent facial scar was a result of action in World War I. That's a lie. The truth is that he was never in the army and received it from a hood that slashed him for making a pass at his girlfriend. That's what you get. Don't be talking to my girl. And then we got the match game over here where we match the mafioso to his nickname, but I don't think we're going to do that one either. But if you want, you can screenshot this, and then we can play it later. No? Okay. Well, we tried. Mafia-endorsed weaponry. The weapon of choice for Mafia hitmen is the .22. While not an overly powerful gun, when the trigger is pulled while the gun is against someone's head, the bullet smashes through the skull, but is not powerful enough to exit the skull. Rather, it ricochets like a pinball, doing massive damage to the relatively soft tissue to the brain. That's bullshit, but okay. To make it appear as if someone has died of natural causes, Mafia hitmen use a technique known as the ice pick kill. In this scenario, 2 or 3 men hold the victim still while the killer drives an ice pick through an eardrum into the brain. Externally, this produces only a tiny puncture and little bleeding, but it causes massive internal bleeding, which looks like a cerebral hemorrhage. Q&A. In 2002, which 2 cities reported the most gang-related homicides? This should be easy enough. 1. Detroit. 2. Chicago. 3. New York. 4. Miami. 5. Los Angeles. Answer? It's 2 of those. I don't know why. Oh, it said which 2 cities. So which 2 cities, huh? Detroit, Chicago, New York, Miami, Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Hey, could one of y'all do me a favor and... Actually, I could probably do it. Hold on. That's one of them. Fuck, that still is covered up. Okay, cool. I got a new thing. Okay, Chicago and Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Ah, good guess, but it's LA. LA and Chicago. Alright, let me do another quick redeem here. I'm just trying to fix the thing. Oh, bless it. How much more do we need to scroll this up? Holy fuck, really? One more time. Oh my god.
Run.
I can't fucking deal with this shit. I don't know what else to do. Oh god, we lost the doggo. Nobody told me nothing. There we go. We lost the doggo. Nobody said nothing. I can't fucking deal with this shit. What the fuck? Oh. Alright, I tried, guys. I tried. I can't fix shit on the fly. This whole nerd shit is fucking beyond me. No. Alright, next page. Jimmy Coonan's red ears. Head of the notorious New York Irish gang, the Westies, Jimmy Coonan was a fearsome individual throughout the 1960s and 70s. But his closest ally and enforcer, Mickey Featherstone, said you could tell when Coonan was at his most dangerous, his angriest, because Coonan's ears turned red. One night a man named Harold Whitehead was sitting at a bar ranting to Coonan, whose ears had turned red, about how Coonan was fine but his brother was a dirtbag. Shortly thereafter, the two went downstairs to the bathroom, and while standing side by side at the urinal, Coonan took out a Derringer and shot Whitehead at the base of the skull, killing him. Classy. The Westies were the first gang to dispose of bodies by cutting them into small pieces and discarding them in the river. They learned how to do this from one of the gang's members, Eddie Kaminsky, who had learned butchering in prison. They called the practice doing the Houdini. Well, now we know about the Westies, and they're doing the Houdini. Jimmy Coonan was a protege of Ruby Stein, and for many years the two men were buddies, like father and son. Indeed, Stein paid cash for Coonan's house in Hazlitt. Aw, that's so sweet of him. But in the world of gangs, over drinks on Tuesday, you can be sincerely promised undying loyalty, and on Wednesday you can have your brains blown out. The only thing that matters is the member's own survival and profit. And as these are people who have been trying to survive in a brutal world all their lives, they are particularly attuned to threats to either. So, it was that Coonan lost his loyalty to Ruby Stein and set him up for a hit. Ostensibly, Stein had ordered the hits of a couple Westies, but the real reason seems to be that Coonan owed Stein $70,000, and a number of other Westies were also indebted to Stein for big money. What better way to clear the books than to eliminate the creditor and eliminate the debt? I mean, I suppose so. Coonan and his fellow Westies knew that this had to be done very carefully. They would be putting a hit on Stein without permission from the Mafia. And the Mafia has a golden rule. No one they're involved with gets clipped without their permission. More than this, Stein had long relationships with the Mafia and, most important of all, he was a big money maker. He was a good earner. On the morning of May 5th, 1977, Kuhn left his home in New Jersey, stopping to pick up some knives in large plastic trash bags. He contacted Stein and told him he wanted to meet with him in the 596 Club at 10th Avenue and 43rd Street. Drugs and crime. In 2002, a survey of convicted property and drug offenders, 25% said they committed their crimes in order to obtain money for drugs, compared to 5% for violent and public order / victimless crimes. In 2004, law enforcement agencies across the United States arrested approximately 1.7 million people for drug violations and 1.4 million for driving under the influence. Bastards. Okay. In his court testimony, Mickey Featherstone remembered finding out that they were going to do a piece of work, as Coonan described a hit, on Stein, and Featherstone raced to find and possibly warn Stein. Featherstone liked Stein, but Featherstone was too late. What happened to Stein was later described in court testimony. Oh, look, here's a picture of Jimmy Coonan. Coonan right here. He looks like somebody's grandmother. Forget about it. And then in turn, each of the 4 people there took the gun and shot Stein one more time. There was method in his collective killing. Everyone knew there would be retribution if the wise guys found out, so this way everyone would be equally responsible and would not talk for fear of incriminating themselves. Hey, you don't want to do that. Coonan's idea for Stein was like his idea for so many others, do the Houdini. They put his body in a laundry sink and proceeded to cut him up. One gang member got sick and couldn't help, and put the parts in bags Coonan had bought, then brought the bags outside. They drove to Ward's Island and dumped the parts in the East River. After a while, the wise guy sent out word looking for Stein, but no one could find him. Then a legless, armless torso was hauled out of the East River, and the cops were able to identify it as the torso of Ruby Stein. How do you identify someone off their torso unless they got like tattoos? It seems that they had a heart attack at some point, and when they superimposed the x-ray of the torso over an x-ray that had been taken of Stein when he was alive, the scars matched up. Okay, that answers my question. That was the next bit. La 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 la. Sorry, the song's just catchy. Jimmy Coonan was furious that Stein was able to be identified, and he vowed that the next time they would grind up their victims so fine that no one would be able to identify them. Well, now you're using your fucking noodle, son. The recovery of Stein's torso had repercussions, and long before Jimmy Coonan was summoned to a Tommaso's restaurant, a regular mafia hangout, to talk about Stein, Coonan and Featherstone went to Tommaso's, and they denied any involvement in the killing, and amazingly, got away with it. Well, look, here's the deal. I didn't do it. Oh, okay, you go on your way then. Sometimes you can get away with shit. Chapter 3, Prostitution. Ooh, saucy. The most famous prostitute of all, Pearl Polly Adler, 1900-1962, was a Russian-born madam and author, and the most famous prostitute who ever lived. She was the oldest child of a large family. She emigrated to America from Yano, Russia, near the Polish border, at the age of 14, just before World War II. The war stopped her family from joining her. She worked in clothing factories and sporadically attended school. At the age of 19, Polly began to enjoy the company of theater people in Manhattan and moved into the apartment of an actress and showgirl in the upscale neighborhood of Riverside Drive, New York. She opened her first bordello in 1920. Hey, she's only 20 and she's opening a bordello? Good for her. How'd she make that money to make that happen? You gotta have money to make this shit happen. She was under the protection of mobster Dutch Schultz, a friend of Lucky Luciano. In the early 30s, Polly was called as a witness of the Seabury Commission investigations into police and government corruption, and she spent a few months in hiding in Florida to avoid testifying. Good, she ain't no rat. That'll give you long life. When captured, she refused to give up any mob names or names of those in power. Then she went into hiding again. For over 20 years, Adler avoided prosecution by moving her brothel from apartment to apartment. She officially retired from prostitution in 1944. I don't know. Polly sounds familiar, but whatever. I don't know about prostitutes. Polly went to college at the age of 50 and collaborated on a best-selling book ghosted by Virginia Faulkner with the great title, A House is Not a Home. The book was published in 1953 and Adler lived off the proceeds until her death in Los Angeles in 1962. A few great quotes from Polly Adler. My home is in whatever town I'm booked. Your heart often knows things before your mind does. Fair enough. It's not the college degree that makes a writer. The great thing is to have a story to tell. I'm one of those people who just can't help getting a kick out of life, even when it's a kick in the teeth. The only difference between them and my girls is that my girls gave a man his money's worth. Fair enough. A unique weapon of choice. From 1964 to 65, someone murdered 7 young prostitutes in London's East End. That information in and of itself is not so out of the ordinary, but what made these murders so bizarre was the evidence pointed to the murder weapon being a penis. What? Penis. All of the women were asphyxiated, and while there was no definitive evidence that a penis had been used, there were indications. For example, one of the women, 21-year-old Mary Fleming, had been choked or suffocated as opposed to strangled, and her dentures were missing from the scene. Another victim, 27-year-old Bridget O'Hara, was found with her front teeth missing, and pathologists determined that she had died on her knees. Some of the women literally had their front teeth knocked out. Lead detective John Dubose thought that at least 6 of the 7 victims had been literally choked to death by a penis. Well, that's my first hearing of anything like this. Oh my gosh, I've seen tears, but... murder by dick! There were 3 suspects, an ex-heavyweight boxer named Freddie Mills, an ex-policeman who killed himself in 1965, and a private security guard who also killed himself. After those 2 suicides, the killing stopped. To this day, no one has ever definitively identified the killer, who is dubbed Jack the Stripper. Witty, naughty. Movies featuring prostitutes. Hollywood has long had a fascination with prostitutes of both genders. While there have been dozens of productions featuring prostitution as a main or underlying theme, here are some of the better-known offerings. American Gigolo, 1980. Richard Gere and Lauren Hutton star in this crime/romance thriller, where Gere plays a high-priced Beverly Hills escort for hire and winds up being the target of police when one of Gere's clients is found murdered. See, I didn't even know what the movie was about. I knew of the title and I knew of the star, but okay, now I know the synopsis at least. Midnight Cowboy, 1969. Naive male prostitute John Voight, I think they misspelled his name, doesn't matter, and his sickly friend Dustin Hoffman struggle to survive on the streets of New York City. Whore, 1991. Filmed in a pseudo-documentary style, this film features Teresa Russell as a Los Angeles streetwalker dealing with the harsh realities of this brutal business. Pretty Baby, 1978. Brooke Shields stars as a 12-year-old prostitute's daughter being raised in New Orleans brothel in 1917. Pretty Woman, 1990. Why don't they put these in fucking chronological order? What the fuck? Guys, it's not that difficult. You just fucking then move the fucking paragraphs around it, whatever. Who am I to tell somebody how to write a book? I've had a screenplay up in this coconut for about 30 years, and I still haven't gotten to putting word 1 to the page 1. Whatever. It doesn't even have a working title. Pretty Woman, 1990. Romantic comedy in which businessman Richard Gere hires prostitute Julia Roberts to be an escort for social events and winds up falling in love with her. No kissing on the mouth. Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, 1982. Musical comedy with an all-star cast, including Dolly Parton as the madam of a Texas brothel, and Burt Reynolds as sheriff. Patron's character's love interest. Parton's. Whatever. Reading is hard. Working Girls, 1986. An honest documentary which follows a typical day in the life of hookers working in an upscale brothel in New York City. This film was based on extensive interviews with real-life prostitutes. Wow. Thank goodness for that. Who am I? 1. I am one of the more famous Hollywood madams. I made millions storing most of it under my bed. 2. I had a variety of beautiful women working for me in posh spots in Los Angeles, London, St. Tropez, and New York. We serviced the elite, and I was sure to take my 40% cut from every girl's earnings. 40% is, I think that's fair. I don't think it's fair that Twitch takes 40% of my money, but whatever. I'm Twitch's prostitute. Oh, sad but true. Okay, 3. Eventually, as I suspected, I got caught and went on trial in 1997. The trial became a media circus because of the scope of my operation and the celebrities in my little black book. Actor Charlie Sheen was caught on the web and testified against me. 4. I don't know why I became a madam. If you look at my background, it seems normal. I was raised in Los Angeles, the daughter of a respected Hollywood pediatrician, and I characterized my parents as intellectual hippies. My holidays were spent camping around the United States. Well, there's your problem. You were raised in fucking LA. That fucks up a lot of people. It's the crusher of dreams. Tinseltown is a land of horror covered in cum and shit. And ask me how I know. Don't ask me how I know. I'm going off of rumors and hearsay. Casting couch. 5. I had a tumultuous relationship with actor Tom Sizemore, star of Black Hawk Down, and this included his getting arrested for assaulting me. 6. Money rather than sex motivates me, and today I do nothing, including being interviewed by the media, without getting a fee. 7. A number of films have been made on my life. I make a living as a publisher. Answer? Anybody? Anybody know? The most famous modern madam? Answer? Drum roll. Heidi Fleiss. Picture Heidi Fleiss right there. Whatever, she's pretty plain. Kind of handsome. Handsome woman right there. Q&A. What percentage of men solicits prostitutes on a regular basis? 1. 2%. 2. 5%. 3. 3%. 4. 1%. Anybody know? What percentage of men? It was basically 1 through 5 minus 4. Anybody want to venture guess? Anybody? You in the back there. Yes, you. I'm looking straight at you. Okay, fine. 1%. 1%. The answer is 1% of men. 3. Jeez. On a regular basis. On a regular basis. Not you were pooping. Well, your phone doesn't work when you're pooping? Come on now. You're not supposed to use your phone to wipe, weirdo. Question. How many Johns will street prostitutes service on an average night? Oh, gross. I didn't want to think about this. Number 1. 1 to 2. 3 to 5. 6 to 10. More than 10. Anybody want to venture a guess on this one? 7? Jesus. The answer is 3 to 5. That's still quite a few in one night. Prostitution in America facts. The Department of Justice estimates that pimps take between 60 and 70% of their prostitutes' earnings. 2. Crack-addicted prostitutes have been known to have sex with a client for the cost of a single rock of crack, which can be as low as $10. Y'all got any more of that crack cocaine? 3. Street prostitutes generally charge between $20 and $50 for oral sex and between $50 and $100 for sexual intercourse. The average time for an encounter to take its place is about 10 minutes in a vehicle, usually for oral sex, and 25 minutes for an indoor tryst. Indoor tryst, isn't that fancy? 4. In the spring of 2006, the Illinois legislature proposed a bill which would allow prostitutes to sue their pimps in court without the fear of being prosecuted for solicitation. The bill also included the right to seek damages from abusive clients who had inflicted bodily harm. Advocates of the bill felt it could help some prostitutes start new lives and help end the cycle of victimization. $20 is $20. 5. 1 million women and girls work as prostitutes. I'm sure it's way more than that, but you know, that's it's rough. It's hard to be a pimp, but I'm pretty sure it's a little bit harder to be a prostitute. Harder. 6. There are 100,000 arrests for prostitution annually. Of all women, 7.1% of them have worked as prostitutes at some point, with 4 years being the average length of their careers. 7.1%? Holy shit, that's a high fucking number. It's higher than I thought. Are they including OnlyFans? Because I think that number might go up a couple decimal points. 7. More than 90% of prostitutes lose their virginity through sexual assault. 2/3 of all prostitutes have been sexually abused between ages 3 and 16, with the average age of victimization being 10. Ugh. Oh, God. Some people are fucked. But, you know, you see these videos of these TikTok 304s, you know, making some ungodly amount of money, like, you know, like $500,000 a month just for taking pictures of their butthole, and that's like the top 1% of 1%. Your typical OnlyFans girl is making about the same amount of money as I am right now, about $200 a year. So, girls, not everybody wants to see your pooper, believe it or not. It doesn't mean people don't want to do stuff with your pooper; they just don't want to pay for it. Penis. Don't be like me. I'm prostituting myself without showing my butthole. I mean, be more like me. Because, you know, the internet is forever. And I'm sure you could compile a lovely list of quotes from me to make me seem like the devil himself. But, hey, at least I'm pretty. Right? 8. Of the prostitutes who started their careers as juveniles, 96% were runaways. They stated they had no other options for making money. Most children entered prostitution at around the age of 14. That's sad. 9. Of the prostitutes who were sexually abused as children, 91% told no one. 10. 4 or 5 prostitutes stated that customers used pornography and photographs to demonstrate in which activities they wanted to engage. Okay, so they brought reference material. Thank you. It's like when you go to your barber and you show them a picture of a magazine, like, I want that haircut. And poor barbers and salon artists, you know, they have to explain to their client, like, well, we can kind of do that, but A, you don't have the hair for it, and you definitely don't have the face for it, but, you know, they do what they can. $20 is $20. Prostitution jargon. Chickens. Young male prostitutes. The term has had a long history, signifying something young, tender, and defenseless. Young male prostitutes are part of the underbelly of most big cities, and, like most prostitutes, they usually become prostitutes just to survive. They are more like streetwalkers than call girls because they stand on a corner in the red light district and wait to be picked up. The procedure is repeated many times a night. Man. Wanderlust. As a prostitute's fortunes decline as she gets older and less desirable, something that can occur rapidly even to the youngest of women in this trade, her neighborhood changes. She leaves good, safer areas and goes to higher crime areas where predators abound and existence is precarious. Like women, streetwalkers, a steady diet of illicit sex, fast food, drugs, and the stress of having to survive causes burnout fairly quickly. Once they lose their looks, their street value is much lower, and their burnout accelerates. It is not surprising that male prostitutes look years younger or older than they are, and that they die much younger than they should, particularly in this age of AIDS and other sexually transmitted diseases. And of course, some have the misfortune of being murdered. 2. Lot lizards. Oh, I know that term. Sea Lark knows that term too. Name given to prostitutes who specialize in working truck stops. These women will often proposition truckers on a CB radio from their own vehicle parked in the area, another area of the truck stop. Holy shit! I had a Oldsmobile 88. Right, that's the make and model. It was a 1991 Oldsmobile 88. Now, when I tried to get that thing fucking insured, I was damn near pulling my hair out with the insurance adjuster. But there was a CB radio inside that car, along with a magazine filled with 22 LR and a couple shotgun shells. I'm thinking, because, you know, I was like, it's a grandma car, right? And then I was like, it's a cool grandma. Maybe it was a lot lizards. Jesus! Okay, perspective. Penis. I mean, stay strapped or get clapped. George Washington. 3. Horse stroll. In the Midwest, this is a name for an area where prostitutes ply their trade. Horse stroll. Okay. Child prostitution at a gruesome glance. 1. Hundreds of thousands of children have been lured or forced into prostitution. Though girls are more widely publicized, boys are also exploited. When kids become prostitutes, the impact is both immediate and long-term. Most immediate is the physical, mental, and emotional violence these children experience at the hands of pimps, madams, and customers. Long-term dangers include health problems, drug addiction, adverse psychological effects, and death. The most tangible consequence for children involved in prostitution is the extremely high probability of being assaulted, not only by pimps, but by the street people and customers. Violence from pimps tends to be more frequent, while violence by customers is more sporadic, but also more likely to be fatal. I don't think I want to read. Oh my god, there's... Can we just skip this part? I want to skip this part. This is just sad and gross. I think I'm just going to skip the whole child prostitution thing and skip to chapter 4. You guys okay with that? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Don't matter what you're okay with. We're going to just skip that because, you know, I'm just reading it, but then I realized that it was prefaced child prostitution. I'm just like, this is gross and sick. I can't. It's... I know it exists, and I know it's terrible, and I know Hollywood's covered up a lot of shit, but at the same time, sometimes there's a time for vigilante justice, and I think in the name of the children, I would be okay to turn a blind eye for somebody, you know, causing lots of suicides to happen to these sick fucks out there, corrupting the innocence of the youths. I'd be okay with that. Hell, I'd be willing to put money into the commissary. Anyways, we're past the prostitution. We're chapter 4, which we will be starting next week. Let's see. What's it say? Serial murder. That's what we're really into, isn't it? Serial murder? What kind of milk do you use with serial murder? Ha ha ha! JK, sorry about the dad joke. Anyways, guys, I'll be back on tomorrow night. I got a lot of Gundam to build. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing painting or if I'm going to be doing Gundam. Depends on what time I can turn around and get to the ship. But, hey, tune back in tomorrow around 8:30, 9 o'clock, or maybe a little bit later than 9 because I've been lazy lately and dragging my feet. But anyways, love you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night around 8:30, 9 o'clock Central. Let's hit that outro, shall we?
Was never great. gleaming, toothbrush drives and rides.
The other cars just exploded. And then into a turbo lap from
On the
inside down. So this leads to a shared tactical vehicle
Where's
attack
that
on
Carrying merchandise, clothes, shoes, all weaving in and out of traffic on Chestnut Street. And then we spoke to a witness who was in Rittenhouse. I'm going to go to this.